You're on.
Hello, I've got a book here that I think you'll be interested in. It's called McDuff Comes Home. There's a picture of McDuff right on the front cover so you can see him. He's a pretty boy, isn't he? His name is McDuff. Let's see what he does. This is where McDuff lives. This is his village. He's got all kinds of houses and stuff that comes from. That's the hometown for McDuff. McDuff's corner of the garden was just under the kitchen. Here he could hear the voices of the people that he loved. There's his house right there. There McDuff relaxed and breathed in all the wonderful smells that escaped from the window. The snappy smell of Fred's frying sausages, the velvety smell of Lucy's vanilla rice pudding. He uses his nose. Dogs like to use their nose, don't they? See? That's the house, and he could smell it because he was sitting out underneath the window to see what was going on. One day the window was closed. There was nothing to smell or hear. Suddenly McDuff saw something moving in the neighbor's garden. There's McDuff looking through the hole in his fence, and there's the thing he saw in the garden. What's that look like? What do you think? Zoom went the rabbit through the zinnias. McDuff squeezed through the hole of the fence after it. His collar and his dog tag caught on the fence. Snap went his collar, and it fell off behind him. There's McDuff chasing the rabbit. Think you'll catch him? Rabbits are pretty fast, aren't they? The rabbit zigzagged over the neighbor's lawn and whizzed across the street. McDuff zigzagged and whizzed too, so he's following up McDuff right away. See how close he's getting to it? Rabbit goes zigzag back and forth, back and forth. McDuff's right there. Over the hills and streets and flowers beds, the rabbit scurried and skedaddled, with McDuff right on his tail, and until it found a hole and shot in it, McDuff could not follow. McDuff was so tired from chasing the rabbit that he lay down in someone's vegetable garden and fell asleep. Rabbits live in holes, don't they? So there's McDuff trying to get a hold of the rabbit. And over here is McDuff falling asleep. He's very sleepy. When McDuff woke up, he looked around and he could not see his kitchen window. He could not smell sausages or vanilla rice pudding. He could not hear any voices that he knew. This is when he wakes up. There's nothing familiar to him there at all. Poor McDuff. See the big garden, see the tomatoes and all that stuff. Looks good. Mrs. Higgins came out to weed her garden. "Who's that under my eggplant?" she asked. Mrs. Higgins looked for McDuff's collar and tag and could not find them. "We will go to the police station," she said, "and see if anyone is there to pick you up." So here's the lost McDuff. He doesn't know where he is. And Mrs. Higgins, the lady that told him, can't find his collar or anything like that, so she don't know where he came from. Looks like a nice old lady, doesn't she? Mrs. Higgins drove McDuff up Main Street and down Pine Road and over the bridge to Oak Lane. Suddenly McDuff smelled the familiar vanilla rice pudding. "Woof!" said McDuff. Mrs. Higgins turned left, and then McDuff heard something when he called, calling his name. "Woof!" said McDuff. She turned right. She's got a motorcycle. The kind of thing you think Mrs. Higgins can see. There's McDuff right next to her. And he hears that wolf, and he knows that he's close to home. Then he saw his own house, and the number 7, Elm Road. Lucy and Fred were calling for him. "Woof, woof," he said, and Mrs. Higgins stopped. "His collar is gone," said Lucy. "How did you know where to bring him?" "I guess I understand dog language," she said. They found his house. It's a pretty house, isn't it? And there's Mrs. Higgins saying that he knows how to find his house. He knows who loves him. Everyone was hungry. Lucy made some apple pie and sandwiches. They all sat down. Even Mrs. Higgins was still around, so she stayed with them while they ate their apple pies and sandwiches. There's McDuff. Look to see if he could get a hold of a little piece or something of anything. Fred gave McDuff his favorite treat, a small dish of vanilla rice pudding with a sausage sliced on top. There's McDuff. He's back home. He's got his favorite dish. He's going to eat his lunch. Well, I hope you like this story about McDuff. I think he's a cute-looking puppy. I don't know what kind he is, but he looks like a good boy. So next time you think about something like getting lost, maybe use some rice pudding and put a hot dog on top of it. He'll come back home. Okay? Thank you.